Good morning and welcome to the Men Empowering Men Phase 2 event today. Today we'll be focusing on men's health in honor of Father's Day and Men's Health Month. First, I would like to thank my wife, Precious Cooper, and Wanda Nichols for facilitating this call. We had a call last month and the feedback was amazing, and that's why we decided to do this again. So let's jump right in. My name is Philip Cooper. Most people know me as Phil C. And I live here in Indianapolis, Indiana, but I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, Motor City. Well, I'm a field engineer. I've been married for the last 18 years and have two awesome children. Now let's hear from our panelists. Please introduce yourself, fellas, and we'll start with Lorin.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lorin Lemme, and I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. Phil and I actually don't live too far from each other. So I have been married happily for the last 20 years this fall and have two beautiful daughters. I am a full-time drummer. And for some of you that don't know that's possible, it's still possible to be a full-time drummer. I'm also a full-time dreamer. So, but I'm really excited to be on this call today and learn about health and tell you all what I've learned so far and what works for me. So that's a little bit about me, and glad you're all here.
Hey, thanks, Lorin. Thanks, brother. Thanks so much. Hey, listen, we got Lorin. I've known him for a while. Great guy. We're going to go ahead and let my next buddy, Edwin. Introduce yourself, Edwin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Edwin Lockley. I am originally from Jacksonville, Florida, but right now I reside in Atlanta. I've been here for about 3 years, and definitely excited about this call. Thank you all for joining in for this call, and I'm definitely excited to be on the panel.
Thank you, Edwin. Thank you. We're excited you're here too. We appreciate you getting up this morning. Hey, I see people are still coming in. Just some housekeeping rules. Go ahead and just make sure your device is muted. In the comment section, go ahead and drop your name and location. And we're going to let Brother Arnold go ahead and tell us a little bit about himself. Introduce yourself, Brother Arnold.
All right. Well, what's going on, everybody? Again, my name is Arnold. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I'm a LSU Tigers fan. But much love to everybody here from wherever location you are from. And I am a Spanish teacher at an elementary school. So I love kids. I love working with students in the elementary level. And I'm also a bodybuilder as well. So I've been in that space for about 2 years and am currently bulking right now. So I'm working to gain some mass. So excited to be here on this call today.
Spanish elementary bodybuilder. Look at that description. We got some brothers here that are amazing. I mean, that right there, that description, you can't introduce yourself better than that. I still see a few folks coming in here, so I'm asking everybody that just jumped on, go ahead and make sure you mute your device, your laptop, your tablet, your phone, and in the comment section, give us a quick description of where you're from and your name. I want to throw a couple stats out here. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S., with cancer and diabetes following. Black men suffer the worst health than any other racial group in America. Black men live 7 years less than men of other races. Black men are 30% more likely to die of heart disease than non-Hispanic whites. Heart disease risk factors are high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. About 48% of Black men have some sort of heart disease. 1 in 4 people would die of heart disease. 1 in 3 men would develop cancer, and 1 in 3 have diabetes by 2050. Excuse me. Here's some questions I want you to think about. When you think about the statistics of the top disease killing our men today, how does that impact your life? How does that make you feel? Lorin?
It really brings me back to when I was a little kid, and I remember my grandpa, he had heart disease, and even at a young age, I knew that he was struggling. He had diabetes, and he underwent several heart surgeries, open heart surgeries, and every time he would go, I would get anxiety. I'd think, I'm not gonna have a grandpa after this next operation, and he thankfully didn't die of heart disease, but he did die due to diabetes. And so and then my dad was another stressor for me because I just always, he had some heart arrhythmia, and he also had some stomach cancer, and he ended up dying of a stroke. So, it is in my family history, my family line to, one side, my grandpa on my mom's side had heart disease, and my dad had some heart issues so both sides. So, it's definitely an anxious thought that goes through my head even to this day.
Hey, thank you for being so transparent on that. That can be traumatic, and man, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Lorin. Listen, Edwin, when you think about the statistics of the top diseases killing our men today, how does that impact you in your life, and how does that make you feel?
So when I became aware of heart disease being the leading cause of death, and not only that, but it's the worst cases in African American men, I thought to myself, what can I do to improve myself and also improve, instances with my family, and also raise awareness to African American men as well. So my grand had health issues, and my dad is also currently encountering health issues. He had a stroke and he had a seizure. So just, thinking about that, I'm thinking about ways to keep myself, accountable, and letting other people be accountable as well. So what a good key to it is, changing, habits of eating better, making the right food choices, exercising, even if it's like 15 minutes. So, just changing those implements, and also sharing it with my dad as well. And it's definitely been helpful for my family.
Thanks, Edwin. Listen, that's the conscious decision of just being aware. I mean, that's what I took from you. It's just being aware. I'm aware of times of what I eat, being conscious of just moving a little more. Hey, I get it. Hey, I'm gonna bring it on over to Arnold. Hey, Arnold, how does that make you feel? How does that impact your life?
Oh man, this is deep. This is really deep for me because, I personally come from a family of men, thinking about my father, thinking about my uncles that have all kinds of health issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, taking all kinds of medication. And so when I think about that, I think about my health and wellness journey where 2 years ago, on May 10th of 2020, I weighed 217 pounds.
Hey.
I was just feeling the worst that I ever felt. And I mean, I felt horrible. I just felt horrible. And along with that, I saw that I was in jeopardy of being exactly or basically encountering the same type of health problems that the men in my family have. But it doesn't stop there. This impacted me in such a way that I decided that I was not going to be a statistic. I decided that I was going to take control of my health. And that's exactly what I did. I went from 217 pounds, losing 63 pounds in 18 weeks. And then after that, after losing that weight, I began bodybuilding. And right now, I am the healthiest at 30 years old. This is the age where most people at my age are going downhill. But I am the absolute healthiest that I've ever been in my life. And so much so, we don't make claims. I'm just going to go ahead and make that statement right now. But so much so that I recently got blood work done this past March. And my doctor said to me, he said, your testosterone levels are excellent. Your iron levels are great. And listen to this. He said the chances of you getting a cardiovascular disease is slim to none.
Jesus.
Arnold, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That being conscious, being aware, and being the call of action. So I thank you so dear for being transparent, and more so to me being inspirational. That statement was very. I thank you for sharing that. Man, from the bottom of my heart, that's a call of action. That's a brother saying, "Hey, I see some of these things that are going on. I will lead myself into a better path, because without health, you can't have wealth." So listen to this. What are some of the reasons you think people are unhealthy and suffering from these diseases, Lorin?
It's a great question, Phil. I think about this often, and I can't ignore what Arnold just said. I just love his
the Route 4
Hey, I'm
story.
gonna jump in real quick.
health story,
Lauren,
and it's so inspiring to me. And Arnold, I haven't known you for very long, but man, you've inspired me so much just in the last month since we met.
Lauren, I want everybody to see their background for me, please. Brother Lawrence got some great information. Everybody, if you don't mind, let's have some rules and mute your phone.
Hey, good morning. Checking on a couple filters. It says you got to stop.
Can we mute this guy right here, please? Can my IT
First
person
one is
in the background?
10996.
Okay, awesome.
There we go, Brother Lauren. Okay,
I'm
gonna let you start. I said, what are some of the reasons you think people are unhealthy and suffering from these diseases, Lauren? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was just mentioning, I love what Arnold said earlier about I love his health journey, and that story is so powerful. It's inspired me just over the last month to take more initiative just in my health and my nutrition and everything. But the things I wanted to mention was I just never knew about, for example, synthetic vitamins, trans fats, or like microplastics and things like that are in our foods now. First of all, synthetic vitamins, if you don't know what those are, basically synthetic vitamins are they're basically difficult for your body to absorb all the nutrients in those. And so and they've even been proven to cause some health issues. And so I find that for me, it's much easier and healthier. And I don't know about you, but like being a family man, I don't have much time. And so it's easier and healthier for me to simply just consume more whole foods, primarily raw fruits and vegetables. So number two, trans fats. If you don't know what trans fats are, they're really the worst kind of fat you can eat. And unlike other dietary fats, trans fats, also called trans fatty acids, they raise bad cholesterol and lowers the good cholesterol. So fatty foods that are high in trans fats, you want to avoid those. And that can be anything from like commercial baked goods, such as cakes, cookies, and pies, shortening, microwave popcorn, frozen pizzas, refrigerated dough, such as biscuits and rolls, fried foods, including French fries, donuts, and fried chicken, non-dairy coffee creamer, margarine, things like that. The solution, guys, eat real food, period. And then the last thing, plastic, right? So there's a thing going around now, microplastics. Scientists are coming up with, they're finding trace elements in our bodies, right? In our organs. And if you know what microplastics are, it's basically tiny fragments of plastic. It's less than 5 millimeters in length. And most of it's not visible to your human eye. So trace amounts come from water bottles, plastic bags, synthetic clothing, and other textiles. So it enters our food chain first from our oceans and waterways and soil. So it's in our food, it's in our water, it's in the air we breathe. So experts, like I said, have found that we are consuming as much as 5 grams of plastic per week, and that's like the amount of a credit card. So it's like 50 credit cards a year. I don't want to eat credit cards. So the long-term effects are still not fully understood, but microplastics are now being found in placentas of unborn babies, human feces, and our organs, lungs, liver, spleen, and kidneys. So what do you do about it? You reduce, you reuse, and you recycle. Try to wean yourself off of disposable plastics like plastic water bottles. Get a Yeti or a Hydro Flask and refill at the gym on those awesome water stations they have, or just fill up on your tap. Oh, and guess what? Another way to reduce, reuse, and recycle and avoid microplastics: cook your own food. Purchase secondhand items or reclaimed items and recycle. Duh.
He said,
That's it. I digress.
Thank you, Lorin. Listen, information. I think you're telling me what I took from that is people are they just don't know. They don't have the information. That was a lot of information. It almost might sound scary to some people, but that's what we want. Just because you don't know doesn't mean it won't happen. I didn't know burgers and fries would make me fat. I didn't know that cakes and pies would cause me to be unhealthy. That's why they're called a snack. Once a week, that's fine. Twice a week, maybe. You get to doing it every day, you might want to make some different health choices. I'm going to go right back to it. I said, what are some of the reasons you think people are unhealthy and suffering from these diseases? Edwin, you chime in, brother.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, just to add more to my conversation earlier, definitely a great call. And health and wellness is so important, and just by knowing like the journey with seeing the journey with Arnold, and his journey has inspired me to be on the journey myself. So I have lost 10 pounds, and I have a long ways to go. So yeah, definitely gonna be documenting my journey, and just inspiring other men. But to go with the things that can be a health problem is artificial coloring. So artificial coloring, air pollution, also water contaminants. So artificial coloring are things that can be added to our food. So things like yellow 40, yellow 5, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6 can be correlated to carcinogens and hypersensitivity. So the best thing to do is to have awareness of things that's in your food. So read the label. So sometimes we have the tendency to have a rush, be in a rush to do certain things. So if we just take the time, like we have the time to watch TV, so just take a few minutes to see what's on the label, that'll definitely help. So also with air pollution, those are things that's contamination in the air due to fumes like vehicles, carbon monoxide, methane, and fumes from smoking. So the air that we breathe should be in the clearest form. So it nourishes our lung when we have clear air. So if bad air is inhaled in for a prolonged period of time, it can be correlated to health problems with the lungs. So the best thing to do to help to prevent with air pollution is to, I read on a study that you can refuel during the evening if you're like driving and you have to get gas. And also walking, taking a bus or riding a bike also help reduces air pollution. So some places aren't like even a mile away. So, just by doing that would definitely help with air pollution. And with water contaminants, water can flow from rivers, streams, lakes, and oceans, and it might contain harsh chemicals like nitrogen, bleach, pesticides, metals, and arsenic. So the exposure to it can cause health issues to the heart. So ways to help with water contaminants is to not pour oil or harsh chemicals down the drain, and also have the water tested and also filter the water as well.
Thank you, man. Choices. It's all about choices, consciousness, and making proper choices. Arnold, can't wait to hear what you add to this. What are some of the things you think?
First of all, I just gotta say, does everybody hear these answers? Like, it's powerful. Like, and I have a statement I want to make about it. But before I do, let me just go ahead and give my first reason. I have two reasons why I think particularly men are unhealthy and encountering a lot of diseases. The first reason, I think you guys are going to find this humorous, but it's true. I think it's very true, especially now, is the economy. Has everybody not seen the gas prices lately? I mean, seriously, prices of food and everything that we're consuming now is absolutely ridiculous. But with that being said, there are certain food items that unfortunately, I think that as a result of that issue, we are tending to go to as an outlet, but as a result, that can cost us our health, right? So if you got the honey buns If you got the Krispy Kreme, whatever you can get that's in the center of that grocery aisle, right? That's usually, or the outside. It's the outside. I'm sorry. I think it's the outside. Yeah, the outside, the outskirts, wherever they keep all the good stuff. Then that's usually where it's usually the cheapest, but you get a lot of stuff that's not good for you. And then something about all of that stuff that we see at places like Albertsons, we have that here, or Walmart, for instance. The second reason why I think that we are encountering a lot of unhealthy men who are encountering unhealthy habits for themselves, and as a result, encountering these diseases, is because I believe that there's a lack of education. So with everything that you've heard Edwin say, right, with everything that you heard Lorin say as well, I mean, just think about that. Let me ask you this question. When is the last time you heard a group of men come together, talk about their concern with preservatives or flavor enhancers, air pollution? Like, it just doesn't happen, right? Like, I've never seen that, but we're doing that today, which is absolutely powerful, and a powerful statement that I believe that is a symbol of change of what we can do moving forward. So with that being said, again, I think that it's the fact that there's a lack of education. Unfortunately, men tend to be like, well, man, if all I can do is just get this food down, I don't care what it is, I'm just hungry right now. I got to eat, right? Like, I got to get this burger and fries over here at McDonald's, man, so I can get back to work. That's all they're thinking about. But as a result of that, again, that's leading towards habits that's going to affect their long-term health.
Man, I love the energy. I love the enthusiasm, and then I love the awareness. And like you say, I mean, these we just live in an unprecedented time. I mean, to come from a pandemic, to know that people are still unhealthy when they were at home and could really, you had the time. You have the time. You know, like I just heard you, we eat bad because sometimes we don't have the time. So we have to make the unhealthy decision because providing this at such a high level, you know, so us men, does that mean we want to provide in any means possible? You know, if health is wealth and we're trying to provide unhealthy, we won't be around to help out too long. So, you know, when I think of one of the ways to combat these diseases is to practice 4 pillars of health. These are preventative measures we do every single day. They're hydration, sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Tell us how you are intentional with any of these, Lorin.
So I am really bad about drinking water and staying hydrated throughout the day. I have to remind myself. I have reminders on my phone. But, you know, the truth of the matter is, you know, like what Arnold was just saying, you know, a lot of it's just educating. You know, I grew up on, I don't know what you guys call it in your region of the country or wherever you're at in the world, but, you know, we called it soda. You know, we call it soda pop or soda. And like we'd always have, you know, soda from Marsh, Panther Red, you know, and, you know, being a foodie myself, you know, I love flavor. I want my food to taste good. I want my beverages to taste good. But I stopped drinking soda when I was in college because I could tell it was just dehydrating me and sugar crash. So I stopped drinking soda when I was in college, and I started learning more about hydration, because hydration, like Arnold was saying, it's just about educating ourselves, guys. We have to stay hydrated. Your body depends on water to survive. Every cell, every tissue, and organ in your body needs water to work properly. It's like the oil in your car, right? For example, your body uses water to maintain its temperature, remove waste, and lubricate your joints. Water is needed for overall good health, and you should drink water every day. Try to drink half your body weight in ounces. Okay, it's a reasonable goal. You know, or 8 to 10 glasses of water. Okay, carry a water bottle with you. I call it a safe water bottle. Okay, something that's not gonna it's gonna reduce your eco footprint. So things to consider. You know, if you don't drink enough water right now, you may notice little or no urine. You may your urine is darker than usual. You might have dry mouth, sleeplessness or fatigue, extreme thirst, headache, confusion, dizziness or lightheadedness, and yes, constipation. So some tips that can help you stay hydrated. Like I said, keep a water bottle with you throughout the day. Set a timer on your phone, every hour, just take a few sips of water. If you don't want your phone chiming off every hour, drink water before. When you wake up in the morning, take some water. Throughout the day, with your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and before you go to bed. When you're feeling hungry, drink water, because a lot of times thirst is confused with hunger. Who would have known? True hunger will not be satisfied with drinking water. So if you drink a bunch of water and you're still hungry, then eat something. If you have trouble remembering, like I said, put a schedule on your phone. Drink water, on a schedule. That helps me. There's even water bottles now that you can Bluetooth to your phone, and it'll chime your phone when you're getting ready to be dehydrated. So, and drink water if you go out to eat. When you go to a restaurant, drink water. It's free.
Hey, that's a good fact right there. Save a couple dollars. I mean, that's what we can do. That's easy. I don't care if you don't like water. That's what you can do. So do it. Drink more water. I mean, that's easy.
Water.
Less carbon footprint, more water. Thanks, Lorin. Edwin, chime in. When you think of hydration, sleep, exercise, and nutrition, how are you intentional, my brother?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was great stuff. Lauren and Phil. I'm actually got my bottle right now on me because I hydrated. But another pillar of health that's also very good is sleep. Most Americans need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So sleeping helps with your immune system. It helps with body recovery. It helps with your memory. It helps with your metabolism. And it also helps you with increased energy whenever you're doing any physical performance or exercising. So I looked at some studies of law students. So I also have a law background. So when I was in law school, I definitely needed my sleep. So if I didn't get 8 hours of sleep, I'm pretty much out. There are some times where my body just like shut down if I don't get like so much sleep. Like it's kind of like a computer system. It will shut down to make sure you get your sleep. So yeah, definitely with the law students, the ones who receive more sleep were able to retain more. They were able to be prepared more for class. And something else that's unique about law school too is that we use the Socratic method. So with the Socratic method, you have to be prepared for class, because if you're not prepared for class, it's not going to be a good day in class. So with being prepared with the Socratic method, you don't know if you're going to get called on. So you got to be on your T's. So getting sleep definitely help with retaining information and being prepared and everything. So sleep is so important, guys. Definitely get your sleep in. 4 hours. I know 4 hours, 4, 5, 6 hours for me is not enough. So sleep is definitely important.
Edwin, thank you. In a society or a world where, like Arnold said, the prices are high, food is high, and I've heard people say things like this: sleep is the cousin of death. I'll sleep when I'm dead. You might die sooner than you want if you don't get enough rest. I mean, your body will shut down. You won't be able to perform, and you won't be able to provide. Again, health is wealth, and sleep is a necessity. Water, sleep, hydration, nutrition. Come on, bring it on home, Brother Arnold.
Well, absolutely. I mean, today I'm just loving what these brothers are saying. I should have brought my pen and paper down so I could write some notes, but I had to, be on the panel today. But I'm definitely just learning a lot. So the other thing that we have that's powerful here, you guys, is exercise. Okay, exercise. Now I'm gonna give what I do here in a moment, but I just want to say exercise doesn't have to be tedious. It doesn't have to be something you do for 30 minutes a day or an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, like these big old bodybuilders out there. That's not necessary. If you just go walking for 10 minutes, go walk around the neighborhood, right? Just being active, moving, just moving your body. I know some of y'all like to dance on here. That's exercising. Right? I was on Instagram looking at some fellas and some ladies on there. They was just skating, right? Y'all know the skating rink, right? That's exercise, right? So if you like doing that, find something you enjoy doing and do that. That's exercise. So for myself particularly, the way I'm intentional is I set goals, okay, and I have accountability. All right. So I have certain goals that I'm working towards because I'm a bodybuilder, right? I'm working towards building muscle. So I have a trainer, and this trainer not only creates my workout plans that I'm to follow, which are objective, but he also, very simply, keeps me accountable to my goals.
Accountability, go. Again, everything I'm hearing these brothers talk about is doable. Nothing is undoable. This isn't rocket science. It's just information and applied information. It's applied knowledge. You've given this information, you've given this understanding of what it is to do, whether that's drink more water, move a little more, plan. Be intentional. Make your health an intentional thing that you just consistently are thinking about, not just something that you're talking about. And when we think about health, we think about the final pillar. What did we talk? We talked about hydration, we talked about sleep, and we talked about exercise. And the final pillar of it is health, is nutrition. We all found ways to flood our bodies with nutrition daily. Can each panelist share how you were introduced to these plant powders and how it's helped you or your family? Lorin.
Sure, Phil. Yeah, thanks. I have to give a shout out to my awesome wife, Lorin Lemme. She's amazing. She and her friend Brenda Proctor. They're really why I started Juice Plus. I was on the road being a musician. When you're on the road, I'm a foodie. Like I said, when you're on the road, there are very few healthy options to eat. And so, I was eating really poorly on the road. I'd come home, and as a result of that poor nutrition, I would get sick and I'd be out of work. And, when you're trading hours for dollars, you don't work, you don't get paid in my line of work. And so I was missing work. And so I started Juice Plus because I just didn't have I was desperate. I tried it, and between 4 and 6 weeks later, after being on the fruit, veggie, and berry blend, I was down to 0 sick days, and I just don't get sick anymore. So it was my why was I needed to work. I needed to provide for my family once again. And so I just found that it just improved my immune system, and very specifically the berry blend. I mean, come on, it helps your cardiovascular system. I call it the transport system. And there was a study done, I think they call it the McDonald's study, where a group was given a 50 fat gram breakfast diet. And after they tested their cardiovascular constriction, the veins were 67% paralyzed. And then like a month later, they took that same group of people, it gave them the same meal, but they gave them the fruit, veggie, and berry capsules, and afterwards they had 68% less cardiovascular constriction, and it was 98.5 less cardiovascular constriction. So it was almost like they didn't eat a high fat meal. That's pretty powerful. And so for those of you that don't know what is in the berry blend, it's Concord grapes, pomegranate, bilberries, blueberries, blackberries, elderberries, raspberries, cranberries, blackcurrant, and artichoke and cocoa. So it's I don't know when last time you had all of those. People will say, oh, I eat some blueberries for breakfast. It's like, yeah, but when did you eat 11 berries for breakfast? And so that's the berry blend. It's just super powerful. It helps with inflammation. Being a drummer, I get done playing a show, I feel great. I've got all the power, all the blood flowing through my veins. But then I wake up the next day and I feel that from the day before, all that it's like that oxidative stress kicking in. So the berry blend really helps with my mobility and my movement and my inflammation. And then I also want to just quickly mention the Omega blend, because the Omega blend is amazing. And for those of you that are already taking Omegas, there's nothing like this Omega blend. It's amazing. It's all plant-based. It's Omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. It's a sustainable source without the heavy metals. we like to say we skip the middle fish and go right for the plant. So there's no fish oil. So it's great for your skin, vision, and heart health. And like I said, I personally take the fruit veggie berry blend and the omegas because it just helps with my overall health when I can't get a plant-based diet.
Thanks, Lorin. Thanks so much. That's. Whew. Hey, how were you introduced to it, Edwin?
So I was actually introduced to Juice Plus by my friend Arnold, and just by looking at his journey, like to piggyback on the other question earlier that you asked about, Phil, like showing someone's journey through health and wellness and seeing someone's passion, it definitely helps show others what you're doing, and it inspires others. Because Arnold definitely inspired me through his journey. So he got me hooked on him. And what I found out about him is that you can get whole foods from the chewables. So right now I have with me the fruit blend and the vegetable blend. So there are several things in them, like apple, peach, cranberry, for the fruit blend, apple, peach, cranberry, orange, mango, lemon peel, cherry, pineapple, prune, date, beet. Like certain things I know I don't eat, right? Like beets I don't eat. Certain like dates I don't eat. Even with this, with the vegetable blend, like so in the vegetable blend is broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, beet, spinach, cabbage, lemon peel, rice bran, and kale. So certain things, like I mentioned, like I don't eat on a daily basis. So it actually bridges the gap of things that I don't get on a daily basis. So I definitely love taking Juice Plus, and I actually introduced it to my family as well. And they are definitely enjoying it. So my mom's enjoying it, my dad's enjoying it, and my dad is who I talked to you guys about earlier that's currently facing health issues. There are times like, where are those chewables? Where's those chewables? I like to try them. So he's really loving them too. And I've noticed, like, since I've been taking them, like I've had like an increase of energy. I'm not feeling as lethargic. And I definitely enjoy it. And so, just sharing it with others and my family, we're all enjoying it, and we're pretty much taking it on a daily basis.
Edwin, thank you. And I like what you said there, bridging the gap. Bridging the gap. If we don't do anything else but be informative, bridge the gap, and be more conscious, hey, then that's the start. That's the conversation. Hey, Brother Arnold, talk to me for a second, man. How was you introduced?
Man, so incidentally, I was introduced to Juice Plus in the weight room. The main place where most guys think they know it all, right? They think they buff, they think they know it all, so you can't help them. But interestingly enough, I had a good friend of mine, his name is Patrick Van Ducey, that introduced Juice Plus to me. And incidentally, we just struck up a conversation. He saw me lifting weights, and we just kind of started talking a little bit. And the first thing I told him before he told me about Juice Plus is like, hey, like I told him, I said, well, look, I'm all natural. Like, I don't believe in steroids or anything like that. I want to live a long time, right? And I want to be able to maintain my physique. So what he told me was that, and then what I told him too, I said I was looking into veganism at the time because I was listening to people like Dr. Sebi, all these natural herbalists out there that are just very powerful with their information. And so what Patrick, but then I told him, I said, but even though I'm interested in veganism, I'm not ready to make that transition just yet because number one, it's expensive. Okay, just getting all fruits and vegetables and all that stuff, that could be quite a bit of money. But then secondly, I wasn't ready to get rid of meat just yet either. So he's like, okay, well, look, man, we got something called Juice Plus where, we have some very powerful products that can help you implement. And as Edwin said, bridge the gap. And so that's when I began to take a look, and lo and behold, I've been taking Juice Plus now for 10 months, have had amazing experience with it. And the products that I love myself, especially, I don't know if we have any teachers out there, really this applies to anybody that's busy. Okay, maybe you got a weight loss goal.
No, the good information was coming through and he just paused on us. Maybe you got a phone call. Let's give him two more seconds. Come on, brother Arnold. You got this. Unfreeze yourself. You can do this. We believe
right
in
now. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Hello?
There you go, brother. I hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know what happened. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go right back into it. So I said, I don't know if we have any teachers out there, but it really doesn't matter if you're a teacher, if you're busy, right? If you're busy every single day and you got some, let's say you have a weight loss goal. It's summertime. Okay. This is the time where people are trying to like hit their goals, but you working, right? So let's say you eating good at home, you eating good when you first thing in the morning, you know, at nighttime, you're getting a good meal in, but what about that in between, right? Where you at your job, they got that vending machine staring at you. And you're just like, oh my God. Krispy Kreme donuts right over there. Like, well, that's where these complete bars, which we have the tart cherry honey flavor, we have the dark chocolate fig flavor can come in, as well as our whole food meal replacement shakes. Okay. These are designed to fill in the gap of your day. Okay. So instead of getting that Krispy Kreme donut that's full of sugar, all the stuff that you learn on this call that's bad for you, get you something that's good for your body and that has fiber. Okay. I was looking at a study some time ago and I saw that if you don't have, they got protein stuff out there that's high in sugar, but low in fiber. And what that means is if you're getting something that has no fiber, but just high in sugar, you're going to spike your insulin. So what does that mean? Your body is going to constantly be in a state of hunger. You're going to be hungry after the next 10 to 15 minutes, being like, man, I just ate this, but this didn't do anything for me. Well, again, that's where these come in. And that's not the only thing that's powerful about these bars and shakes. They also have credentials. How many stuff out there do you know have scientific backing behind them? This thing is non-GMO, it's gluten-free, NSF certified. How many of you heard of NSF certification? Okay, I'm gonna save the time, but NSF certification, what that means is National Sanitation Foundation. And what that is saying is what's on the label is actually on the label and nothing else. So you got a whole bunch of other stuff out there that you may be taking right now, but if they don't have that certification, guess what? You really don't know what you're really putting in your body because they're not obligated to tell you. So finally, I'm going to conclude with this. With everything that you guys have heard today, what's powerful is that Juice Plus has now 44 clinical studies talking about how it benefits your cardiovascular system, which I said earlier today. What did my doctor say? The chances of me getting a cardiovascular disease is slim to none. Now, we don't make claims, but we got studies, we got journals, we got articles that you can find online that's connected to those hospitals and colleges around the world. Lung health, brain health, skin health, teeth health, oxidative stress that deals with aging, bioavailability that deals with how quickly it gets into your bloodstream. Except I'm saying 47, look, we got it. Okay. So why should you take this? Because it is clinically approved and safe.
Brother Arnold, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the enthusiasm. I love the attention. I love the motivation. You know, I'll add that I've been taking Juice Plus, I know, for the last 5 years, and I feel better now than I did in the last maybe 10, 15 years. You know, I've been a field engineer, driving a lot myself. I would get inflammation and I didn't know. I just knew I had pain. I just knew I was in pain. My knees hurt. I had joint pain. Sitting in the car 3 and 4 hours one way, do some work, come on right back, and then got to be with a family, eating things that aren't right for my body, just putting me in a position where I just don't feel my best and I'm not performing at the best, you know. And it's been almost, like I say, 5 years since I've been eating Juice Plus. On some days, I double up on it. So I'm speaking directly to the men. No matter what color you are, no matter what ethnicity you are, health is wealth. We've got to take care of our bodies. Be your own advocate and ask those tough questions when seeking medical professions. Practice the 4 pillars of health and reach out to the person who invited you on this call to get started with Juice Plus today. I want to thank you again, Precious, my wife, and Wanda, and each of you for spending your Saturday morning with us. Go out and empower a man today.